When I first came across this story, I said to myself, I wonder what kind of title this woman is going to receive. So the name of this person, her name is Ashley Pardo, and this woman has been arrested and accused of buying ammunition and tactical gear for her son. And that was bad enough as it was, because if you're doing this for your son, I can only imagine what he was planning to do. And that basically also means you're an enabler. And that's exactly what she is. And furthermore, the school basically said or gave warnings that her son was probably going to do something violent. And she still continued to enable his behavior anyway. But let me go ahead and get into it. Warning signs that a San Antonio middle school student, y'all, had deadly intentions have been building for months, police say. They took on a new urgency Saturday when his grandmother walked into his bedroom. There she found rifle and pistol magazines loaded with live ammunition and a homemade explosive, according to a court document. The following morning, while the boy's mother took him to school, the grandmother called the police. The mother, Ashley Pardo, age 33, was arrested Monday and charged with aiding in the commission of terrorism. Authorities allege she provided her son with ammunition and tactical gear as payment for babysitting his younger siblings. What? Usually kids would ask for some type of an allowance in the form of money, not guns and ammunition and explosives. And that's exactly what she did. But you can look at her right here and tell she may be a mother, but mentally she's not all the way there. In order to do something like that, I wish what I'm reading to you wasn't true, but unfortunately it is. Pardo bought the materials despite being aware of her son's obsession with violence, according to a Bexar County arrest affidavit obtained by CNN affiliate KSAT. The affidavit alleges that Pardo intentionally and knowingly aided her son. The defendant expressed to the school her support for her son's violent expressions and drawings and does not feel concerned for his behavior. I got a question. To all the people out there that claim black women make horrible mothers, what do you have to say about this chick? I'm just curious. The affidavit says, with notes from the child allegedly indicating an interest in mass shooters and white supremacist symbols. Oh, there you go. There you go. There it is. Because typically, whenever you come across a lot of these white mass shooters or people who have these aspirations, typically they do have white supremacist ties, or they believe in white supremacist ideology. The alleged plot placed people at his school in further fear of serious bodily injury, an investigator wrote. The boy went to school on May 12th wearing a mask, camouflage jacket, and tactical pants, then left shortly afterwards, according to the affidavit. When authorities couldn't locate him, school officials feared he might return to carry out an attack. Extra security was put in place, including deploying additional police officers and sweeping the campus for potential devices, authorities said. The student was later detained off campus and charged with the crime, Jeremiah Rhodes Middle School said in a Monday letter to parents. Please know, we take all potential threats seriously and act immediately to protect everyone in our care. We will always remain vigilant to ensure our learning and working environment is safe and secure. Student safety is a top priority at SAISD schools, and we want to keep families informed of situations as soon as we are able. CNN has reached out to the San Antonio Police Department for more information. Court records for juvenile cases are not publicly made, and the child's name has not been released. No one was hurt, but the threat of deadly violence is a reality that hangs over U.S. schools every day. As of the beginning of May, there have been 18 school shootings in the U.S. this year, including on college campuses, resulting in 6 deaths. Texas, the nation's second most populous state, has had the most school shootings with at least 63 since 2008. That includes the Robb Elementary School massacre in Uvalde, about 80 miles from San Antonio, where an 18-year-old former student killed 21 people in 2022 before being fatally shot by law enforcement. And it goes on and on and on. But there's also some additional information here. It says Prado's refusal to see her son's concerning behavior and her assistance in gathering items for him that have been found to have been used in other acts of mass targeted violence. It is believed she is facilitating the boy's desire to carry out his threats, authorities said. Her bond was set at $75,000 and she was released from Bexar County Jail Tuesday and after posting bail. Magistrate Maralisa, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce her name, Jansen, ordered Pardo to be confined to her home with GPS monitoring and prohibited from her possessing firearms or incendiary devices. Her next court appearance is set for July 17th. She has requested a court-appointed attorney. CNN has reached out to Pardo and the public defender's office for comment. The student's grandmother told police that Pardo had recently bought him tactical gear, including magazines, a tactical vest capable of concealing ballistics plates, a tactical helmet, and army clothing. The incendiary device, described as a mortar-style firework, had "for Brenton Tarrant" written on it. Police said Tarrant is a white supremacist who shot and killed 51 people at 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2019. I remember that. Authorities also noted that the device included the phrase 14 words in SS symbols, all associated with white supremacist ideologies. The boy's grandmother also found a handwritten note with what appeared to be the names of mass shooters and the number of victims from each shooting. On Monday morning, before going to school, he told her he was going to be famous, quote unquote, and referenced 14 words she told police. This was not the first time school officials had been concerned with the boy's behavior. In January, school staff found concerning drawings from the student that included a map labeled suicide route. The school's name written with a rifle and several timestamps. According to the affidavit, when questioned, the student described a fascination with past mass shooters, including their manifestos. About a month ago, the boy was suspended for using a school-issued computer to research the New Zealand mosque shootings, according to the affidavit. Later that day, police say he tried to off himself with a straight razor, resulting in injuries that required over 100 stitches. Before I go any further with this, understand they said that this boy is in middle school. That means he's between the ages of like 11 to 13, 14 years of age. That is crazy to have that type of mindset that young. And the fact that his mother, this woman right here, was aiding in that says a lot about her. But like I said, just look at her. Does that look like just like a model person? Really doesn't. The student attended an alternative school in April, according to the affidavit. When he returned to Rhodes Middle School in May, officials implemented a security plan due to ongoing concerns about potential targeted violence, the affidavit states. He had been spending time at his grandmother's home due to his behavior and threats toward a local school. It has been expressed to the defendant the concerns of her child's expression and desires to commit acts of mass violence, the affidavit said about Pardo. CNN has reached out to the school and the San Antonio Independent School District for comment. Whoa. Okay, that was a lot. I didn't realize the article was going to be that lengthy, but that was a lot to digest. So again, you have this woman right here who is the mother to this middle school student who has an obsession with mass shooters and white supremacist ideologies. The stuff that he was researching, I can only imagine what was found on his hard drive. And she's aiding with this, putting white supremacist messages and ideologies all over the weapons. Kind of reminds you of what Peyton Gendron did before he did what he did at the Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York a few years ago. And here we are. And he, like I said, middle school age is between 11 to 13, somewhere around there. And he had that mindset already. They said he came to school dressed up in a certain way and he left, but he didn't come back. But they had to be on guard. And just in case he came back, like, again, to all the people out there that love to say black mothers or black women make some horrible mothers, what do y'all have to say about this chick? I really want to know, what do y'all have to say about her? I don't care if y'all don't know about the story and this is your first time hearing about it, or if you already knew, but don't make these blanket statements and make it seem like black women are just bad stewards as far as motherhood goes, when you have people like this that literally was aiding her son into committing a domestic terroristic act and didn't care. Like, she really did not care, which means she has those same ideologies as well. Thank God the grandmother seems like she has a good head on her shoulders and actually alerted the authorities. Because if the grandmother wasn't there, or she was on the same type of timing as her daughter and her grandson, we would have been hearing about this on the news. This was a domestic terroristic mass shooting that was waiting to happen that I'm glad did not happen. But that's just insane. That is wild right here. But like I said, just look at her. Her mugshot tells me all I need to know. And honestly, I don't know how she even was able to get a bond. I need to know, where is her son at? Because they said she bonded out with the $75,000, which of course at 10% is $7,500. She has to wear a monitor. She's due back in court in July. Where's her son at? She doesn't need to be around her kids. Her kid. I don't know if she has any other children, but this one, she doesn't need to be around. As far as I'm concerned, she was raising Damian Thorne 2.0. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the story down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
But wait, there's more.
Right as soon as I was prepared to upload this video, this popped right on up when I was trying to get some more information. So this came out on Friday, May 30th, which is about 2 days or 3 days before y'all will see this upload. Ashley Pardo, mother accused in terrorism case, gets a bond condition modified where she's able to work. Basically, the judge is allowing this woman to go back to work while she and her son are on trial and get employment. Well, not get employment, but still basically make money. All she has to do is basically wear a ankle monitor. Let me read into this so we can see what else they're talking about. Ashley Pardo, the mother accused of aiding in the commission of terrorism, appeared in court Friday morning. Her son was found planning an attack on a middle school, according to police. Pardo's attorneys requested changes to her bond conditions to allow her to return to work. The judge approved the request, permitting a modification to her GPS monitoring to accommodate her employment schedule. The judge reaffirmed existing bond conditions, including no contact with schools in Bexar County, mandatory drug testing, and no possession of firearms or incendiary devices, which remain in effect alongside the modified GPS monitoring monitoring terms. According to a court affidavit, 33-year-old Ashley Pardo was arrested and charged with aiding in the commission of terrorism after her son was found to have been plotting an attack against a local middle school. The investigation into the student began in January of 2025 when it was discovered that the child had made disturbing drawings alluding to acts of violence, including his school's name. Detectives then learned of the child's fascination with mass shooters and their manifestos. In April of 2025, the child was found to have been researching the brutal attacks of 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, and was subsequently suspended. I don't have to read any more into it because it's just basically a rehashing of what I already spoke on. So really the update is that she's allowed to return to work as long as she's wearing that ankle monitor, and it just says that she can't have no contact with the schools in the county in which this was going to happen at, and she has to do mandatory drug testing, and she can't have any incendiary devices such as explosives, and she can't own or possess any firearms. That is some BS. This woman does not deserve to return to work. Can you imagine having to work around her, knowing what she allowed her son to almost do? And the thing is, if her son would have carried this out, like I said before, she would have gone to jail right along with him. I truly believe that she should get the same treatment that Ethan Crumbly's parents got, albeit her son didn't actually commit what he was planning to do, but the fact is he was going to do it, and she was aiding in it. She bought him the firearms. She basically said, go ahead and do what you want. She literally aided and abetted in what could have been a tragedy, and she didn't care. She looks like she doesn't care while she's sitting up on this stand looking like she's kin to Marilyn Manson. So that's the update that recently came through, and I don't know how this woman identifies ethnicity wise, but if she was straight up and down PC, this would definitely be, this segment right here would have definitely been an Operation Protect the White Girl.